Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to go through the latest week of trade I took across futures and Forex pairs. While I'll go over the details of my key winners of the week, more importantly, I'm going to go over two key losses that taught me lessons that I'm going to take forward into my trading journey. And I'm confident that these lessons not only will help me, but will help you become more technical and profitable traders in the future. So stick around for when we go through those step by step. Before we jump into the examples, be sure to hit subscribe since I want to create videos like this on a regular basis to show the real journey I'm taking towards profitability. If you're on the same journey, then let's do it together. With that said, let's jump into the chart and go through our examples. All right, so here's the very basic template that I'm using to check my wins and losses across future and Forex accounts. You'll see that the trades I took last week, which I covered in a separate video, resulted in a net loss for the week. But if we just scroll past those and focus on this most recent week completed, you can see it's a completely different picture. And I attribute this to the 15-minute ATR that I've employed on my trades. I'll give you an example of what I exactly mean in a few minutes. But overall, very positive. If we look to the right, we can see that I'm doing much better on Forex than futures. I'm trading my own capital with Forex and I'm using top firms on futures. So in a way, I don't mind losing on futures since it's not my own capital. But at the same time, I want to optimize the way I operate on futures so that I can become profitable and start taking payouts. Specifically, I'm really happy with the number of trades I've taken across both futures and Forex without deviating. This was the key thing when I started this consistency journal to ensure that I take enough trades without deviating from my setups so that I can actually create some forward testing data to work against. With that said, let's jump into this winner on Euro CAD for a 4% gain. We'll open up the chart and we can see here the actual price action. Now, this is a speed of the 15-minute chart since so much time was needed to earn the take profit. But what I can tell you is that once we mitigated this 15-minute order block, we got a 1-minute character change to the upside. Originally, I would have placed my stops under these recent lows. However, I adjusted and brought my stop loss down further because of the data I was seeing on the 15-minute ATR. From there, I knew I wanted to target this daily order block. Once I had these two key points locked in on my chart, it was only a matter of adjusting my entry to enable a 5R trade. Now, this obviously went for much larger than 5R, but I took partial profit along the way, so it averaged down to a 4R setup. Nevertheless, you can see that I was in drawdown for a good period of time before price went in my favor. If I had left my stops just under those lows we previously looked at, I easily would have been stopped out before the move. So that 15-minute ATR really came to help me out. We're going to see the same thing for another trade coming up, so stay tuned. But once Friday wrapped up and things picked up again on Sunday, I was able to hit my first take profit and then kept position on and extended my take profit higher to this key level to finally take my remaining position off, which resulted in a 4R trade win. Overall, really happy with the 15-minute ATR adjustment I made. Going back to the journal, I want to highlight these two key losses that I had last week, because each one taught me something different. The first one was on a futures account. Now, if we open this up, I seem to make this mistake a lot, and ultimately it comes down to managing this properly, because I assume, like many, I work full time. So I was away from my chart as the 9:30 open was coming around. I have this trade pending because I saw the liquidation of a previous session high here, followed by the 1-minute change of character. Placed my stops and take profits in spots that made sense just like before and adjusted my entry to enable a 3R setup. The thing I missed was I forgot to take the trade off as we approached 9:30 open. By the time I realized it, I was already in the trade and there was nothing more I can do. But if I was looking closer, I would have seen something else, which is that red line denoting previous day high. Having previous day high right above my stop loss is not a good move. And so I should have seen that way sooner than the 9:30 open, which would have caused me to remove the order and wait for the 9:30 volatility to play out or seeing if I could get back in. This was a hard lesson to take because it's one I've learned before, but it is what it is. And I'm documenting the journey unfiltered for you guys. Back here in the journal, I'm going to open up this other loss I had on the same day, which was on USD CAD. So not a futures account, but on Forex this time. Again, we were bullish on the 15-minute order flow. Price tapped into this 1-hour order block and gave a change of character to the upside. I set my stops and my take profits in the same manner as before, in locations that made sense and were driven by the 15-minute ATR. I set up my entry to enable a 5R setup. As you can see, I got tagged in and immediately was stopped out. What I didn't realize in this trade was that if I were to zoom out, all this price action was happening in the premium area of the bullish price line. We know that when we're looking for longs, we always want to buy a discount. And this price action was sitting right above that discount level on the 15-minute chart. If I had zoomed out and not been so obsessed with the details of the 1 minute, I would have seen it and waited for price to come into discount before trying to catch a change of character on the 1 minute chart. This one also was hard to take in real time because it's such a silly mistake that you should always keep the higher time frame rules and narrative in mind. But it's a lesson to learn and one I hope to not repeat in the future. But to end the video on a high note, let's take a look at my best winner of the week, which was this 5R win on Euro USD. When we open the chart, we can see again that price has mitigated a 1 hour fair value gap and given a change of character to the upside. Once again, I placed my stops not at this low right here, but extended further relative to what the 15-minute ATR data is telling me. I target these equal highs up here as my take profit. And with those boundaries, I adjust my entry to enable a 5R setup, which results in my entry being where it is. Now, price eventually taps me in and moves in my favor, but it starts to retrace on me, ultimately going back into drawdown before shooting up with confidence. Now, the 15-minute ATR buffer saved me again on this trade because if I had been under this low, I would have been stopped out. The other thing that helped me was not moving my stop prematurely. By seeing all of the inefficiencies in this price play that initially moved me into profit, I was able to say that price has a reason to come back and resolve those inefficiencies before moving in the desired direction in alignment with the 15-minute order flow. It took everything in me to not move my stop loss, but I stayed committed and didn't move my stop loss until after this aggressive move up. It was only then that I moved this break even and waited for price to hit my take profit. Once it did, I was really happy, really proud of myself because it was a big winner that resolved those previous losses we just looked at. And it really tested my knowledge of price action in real time. So hopefully those quick walkthroughs help. If there's a particular trade that you want broken down further, then let me know in the comments. If this review helped you in any way, then subscribe, because it's my intention to keep recording these type of raw reviews of my trades on a week-to-week basis so that the lessons I learn can hopefully help you become a better trader. So hit subscribe and leave a comment down below with your thoughts. And if you'd like to see a video where I break down a trade, whether it's backtest or in the live markets, then check out this video right here. Every trade teaches me something different, and this video may just do the same for you. I'll see you there.